update. Russia has now attacked the BBC over its documentary on Prime Minister Modi, which has triggered a massive controversy both in India and abroad. And it is Russia who is now openly backed India as far as the Russian foreign minister is concerned, which has accused the UK broadcaster of waging an information war not only against Russia but also against other countries following an independent policy. We'll also play out exactly what the foreign minister had to say, but the clear indication here means that this is yet another evidence of BBC waging an information war on different fronts, not only against Russia, but also against global centers of power, pursuing an independent policy. Let me go across to Srinjoy now. Srinjoy, good morning. India directly hasn't been named here by the Russian foreign minister, but doesn't seem to be an indication as far as the BBC is concerned with the banned docu-series?
Yes, undoubtedly. As far as the Indian position is very clear. What India has said, that this is an example of colonial mindset, and there is no dispute about it. So the Russians naturally have been very close friends of India, and they know how the situation in India is, how India has viewed the BBC documentary. So Sergei Lavrov has made it very clear that this is not something he likes, and he has called it information warfare of the West.
Absolutely. But how do we also understand this, Srinjoy? Because what is also being said by the Russian minister is that after several years, it turns out that BBC is fighting even within the British establishment. That becomes an instrument of the interest of some groups against the others.
Yes, you would expect the situation to be that. Sergei Lavrov has been very critical of the West in recent times. So it is no surprise that he says what he has said about the BBC. You know the recent spat that has happened between Boris Johnson and the Russian President, Vladimir Putin, when Boris said very recently that Vladimir had threatened him when he was Prime Minister, saying that I will send nuclear missiles to Britain. So there is that underlying hostility between the two countries, which has come up once again.
And Srinjoy, you know, Russia backing India is something that we have shared very good relationship with, but Russia speaking against the UK is something that should not be treated as something new.
Well, it is not new, but the important point is that it has backed India. Whatever
Srinjoy, just reconnect. We're not getting your clear audio. Let me, in the meantime, go across to Mr. RSN Singh, sir. Sir, good morning. It is Russia which has outrightly said that this is a certain information war that the BBC is doing against superpowers that includes India as well. And this is a clear support that is coming also from the US, the UK, and now Russia.
They're correct. Indeed correct. You have to see this entire BBC episode through the prism of Russia-Ukraine war. And if you see the Western media, they have been totally lopsided as far as reporting on Russia-Ukraine war is concerned. Now, there are camps in the West which are, which are not taking the, our equations with Russia at this point of time with any kind of, kindness. So they are on an overdrive. And I always suspected this entire timing of the BBC documentary has got to do with this ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. And it is no longer a conflict, confined to two countries, but it has already involved the entire world, directly or indirectly. God knows what shape it is, going to take. And we have our foreign minister or the Indian establishment has been very forthright in conveying it to the world that we will be purely guided by our strategic and economic interest. Do we fall prey to this energy crisis being created by this conflict?
Then why do we have so much division within the country, sir? Mr. RSN Singh, sir, why do we have so much division within the country? Because here people are talking about that this is a freedom of expression that is being suppressed. In fact, it has now moved to the Supreme Court.
I've always said that, these, internal divisions that you see, there are political parties aligned with, various foreign powers. Not from now, but for ever since, ever since the transfer of power took place. Earlier, you had the communists aligned with, some Soviet Russia, some segment aligned with the United States of America.
Right, sir.
So they feel that, by involving these powers, they can dislodge,
Well, we've heard it from the UK, we've heard it from the White House, and it is Russia now. The foreign minister saying that this is another evidence that BBC is waging an information war on various fronts, not just against the Russian Federation, but other global centers of powers as well. Thank you very much, Mr. Arasan Singh, to you, Shanjoy, as well. We'll be back after a short break. You're watching the Morning News Hour.